Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever TMA Sports Network podcast live stream, whatever you want to call it. We're live. We're going. You are here today with myself, Steve, Gavin Burrows, and we have Liam Alford. Hi, guys. How are you all doing?
Good now, good. Thanks for having me, lads.
No
Very
problem
well.
at all, mate.
Very well. Happy now we've got some shows to look forward to, Steve.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's been a long time. So, well, whilst we're on that subject, how's the whole lockdown and no shows been for everybody? How are we all coping?
Have you found it, Liam? Have you found with nothing to prepare for or nothing in the pipeline? Because obviously you was on a massive win streak when you come over here and fought Dylan. You was
Yeah. Well,
and
like,
then
you know,
nothing.
like it's obviously when you have a fight, like you have a date set, it's easier to keep yourself on top of your food and stuff. But to be honest, like with the training, I don't need motivation because I just love it so much that like if I had no fight coming up, I'd still train to the level that I would if I had a fight.
Yeah. Well, that's what I realised when you come over here to fight Dylan. To be honest, it was a fight that was so easy to make. So
Yeah, like if you
because
think
you was always in shape.
yeah, because like everyone wants to say they're the best, but you can't think you're the best and tell people you're the best if you're going to turn down fights. So like I
No,
think if you want to go around saying you're the best, you have to always be ready and say yeah to every fight, you know. Because if you do feel
yeah,
you're the best, you shouldn't be afraid to fight anybody.
exactly. That's the good thing about yourself and Harry. Obviously, when we made you versus Dylan Chima for the WKA World Title, that was a couple. What year was that? Now that was a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Obviously, we've had a year off
I
because
say
of
that was
lockdown.
about yeah. I think it was about a year before the lockdown.
And so obviously, from a promoter's point of view, it's been hard, and a coach's point of view, it's been hard. But as a fighter yourself, at the top of his game, to
Yeah,
then having to have a year off, it's like fuck.
yeah. Like it was kind of it was a sickener about because we were supposed to have another fight against Sam Allen from Scotland,
Of course.
and then that fell through, and then COVID kicked in, and then we couldn't make the fight with myself and Qasim. But like we knew that as soon as the shows were allowed to run, we were going to have a big fight. So in my head, I knew like we stay ready, because like, you'd rather stay in shape than have to get in shape, you know.
And how are you doing that? How are you staying in shape? What's the
Well,
because it's not a usual training camp, is it? So how are you staying in shape now?
yeah, well, to be honest, like I'm lucky now. So I'm in the army at the minute. I'm doing a course in the army. So we're training flat out here anyway, and I'll be doing the kickboxing and boxing as well. So
Nice.
like I know a lot of people at home they're finding it hard because they can't get to the gym and with COVID and lockdown. But so I'm really looking out at the gym and barracks.
So you got, I would say, maybe a little bit of an advantage over most people, then, because you are literally training all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
well, I wouldn't have it any
non-stop.
other way, you know. Have to stay busy.
So you're not doing
Absolutely.
your personal training anymore or anything like that?
Sure, there's no gyms open, you know.
Fuck it.
Do you know, like
You should know that, Kev.
I should know there's no gyms open, shouldn't I?
yeah.
What my question really was, are you going to still do your personal training whilst you're in the army? Like, do you get release or anything like that?
Down the line, I don't know. Like we'll see how it goes. I might, but like obviously my main focus will be fighting, training, you know, and then after that be the army, and then we'll see what time I've left then.
What's the
So-
support like on barracks? You said like because you've obviously got like a networking team of guys training with you every day. I would imagine. What's
Yeah.
that like? Does that help? Like having all those extra guys around training with you all day every day?
Oh, 100%. Like so, in barracks at the minute now we 45 of us, and just like obviously everyone's staying fit and we're all driving each other on. So like even if some people are having slacking days, they're gonna say, "Come on, the fuck, like you know, pick you up." So every day you're busting your balls, like so. Super fit.
Yes.
So when this fight happens, we'll obviously go on to the fight in a bit. Are we gonna the travel ban's lifted? Are we gonna expect a massive army of Irish over here chanting your name?
Massive. You're gonna want a football stadium, Gavin.
That's it. That's what I want to hear. That's
Yeah, that's a
obviously
promoter's dream, isn't it?
just going back to the Dylan fight, because
We had the
that is a
top one
fight
for
where
that one
people
as well, didn't we?
exactly people in the
Yeah.
UK, your name, everyone knew who you was, but when you beat Dylan, in my opinion, to become professional world champion, that got your career skyrocketed. Everyone knew who you was and how good you was, but winning that title really got your name in lights. And because I remember you said, well, I might have a few come over. And I said, yeah. Everyone says that. And next thing you know, we've got people turning up at the door trying to buy tickets for you in
I
a
know,
totally
yeah.
different country.
Yeah.
And
So
the atmosphere. Do you remember the atmosphere in there that night?
yeah. Do you remember
Sweet
what was
Caroline,
it?
come on.
Sweet
You
Caroline
had
at the end.
yeah, you had the bet. It was like we was in fucking Ireland.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be the same now in July. Just wait. It's gonna be more in July if we're allowed.
They love a good fight
Yeah,
night, don't they, the Irish?
well, obviously we spoke to
Yeah.
yourself, spoke to
Yeah.
Harry, and that's why we've put things off. Obviously, with your career and stuff in the army, it just made sense to go July. So let's move on to the fight a little bit now. I know you had a fight planned with Sam, who's a credible world champion, which would have been a wicked fight, by the way. I'd have come and spectated that myself. It'd been brilliant, but obviously with the times, it didn't happen. No fault to anyone else's. I've been a massive pest and kept on to everyone about trying to get this fight going, because obviously we want to promote the biggest fights out there. So first and foremost, thank you for accepting the fight. Thank you for once again just saying, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to fight anyone. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
I am number one and I'm going to fight. That's your mentality, isn't it?
100%. It has to be your mentality. Like any fighter out there that's at a professional level or fighting a world title levels, they have to have that mentality. Because you can't, like, there is people, like, we all know them, they say, oh, yeah, I'm the best. But then they go out for the fight and they won't take it. So you have to just take any fight that comes your way.
And everyone
Because that's the only way you're going to prove to yourself and everyone that you're the best.
And the thing is, mate, people will respect fighters more. So you've seen it with the boxing lately. The pandemic has brought out fights which wouldn't normally happen. It's brought out fights that you'd build. And within kickboxing, I think it's going to be the same now. I think people need to start putting their records on the line, putting their and proving to taking a risk, exactly, because at the end of the day, people are going to remember, yes, what you've won, but who you've fought and the bollocks you've had to go in the ring with, who you've been in with. It's about creating your own legacy. And so, obviously, you're fighting Qasim, the Dream, 49-0 on July, the first weekend in July.
It's going to be 49-1 in July.
49-1 in July. Qasim, did you hear that? Qasim, did you hear that? No, but no. Joking aside, 49-0. He is labelled as probably the best full contact kickboxer of the generation. I think that's fair to be said. 49-0, 3 world titles. This fight for you, would you say this is your biggest fight to date?
Yeah, 100%. Like all respect to Qasim, like he's done a lot in the sport. He's been around a lot longer. But as you said, I'm only just coming on the scene, you know, and I'm not coming on just to take part, like, you know, I'm coming to take over.
Yeah, Qasim's commented, "Let's go, champ."
100%. Oh no, I can't wait, boys, can't wait. Like he's he's had a lot of fights. He's won a lot of fights, but I'm only just on the scene, you know. I've only had one fight with TMA, one win, and we're going to keep it that way.
Well, the last time you come here, you did upset the apple cart and you went away with the win. So coming up, and I think that's what makes this fight interesting, because people will be seeing Qasim over the years, and then they're seeing you come on the scene now, they're knowing who you are, and now this is a monster fight. People are like, this is a real 50-50 fight. Obviously, you've got the backing of Ireland. I've spoken to people in England. Qasim has got backing in England and backing across the world. I really think this fight is the biggest fight that I've been involved in full contact. Probably the biggest fight I've seen in full contact, and I think the whole full contact world and kickboxing, K1 world, martial artists around the world will stop and watch this fight. I really
Yeah, no, I
believe
think
that.
so. No, I think so, and hopefully now after this fight, the kickboxing scene starts kicking up a bit, and then more shows start coming on, more new fighters are coming up the ranks, and we really start getting the ball rolling.
Exactly, and what I wanted to do with coming back, I wanted to come back with the shows with a monster fight to start the ball rolling, to show people take a chance, take a risk, and for the up and coming kids who are thinking, oh, I don't know whether to get back in the gym, I don't know whether it's for me anymore. Seeing this fight, this caliber of fight, I'm hoping will
Yeah,
inspire
it's gonna light a fire in
loads.
some people.
It
It's
will.
gonna light a
It
fire
will.
in some people.
And it
Do you-
will.
Do you think, though, because obviously you just talked about the fact that Qasim's 49-0. Big respect to fighters who've got those records who are willing to also go up against other fighters where they could potentially lose that at such a pivotal point. That 50-0 would be an amazing feat, wouldn't it? So it's I personally, as a spectator of sport, love it when people are willing to do things like that and put things on the line. Far more respect for guys like yourselves that are willing to do that, rather than seeing people who just constantly protecting that. I don't
100%.
get it. I don't get it. It's
You know, what it is, Steve? You know what it is, Steve? You took like Qasim is 49-0. Since Kazim's been back on the scene, I've asked him and Neil I've said, who do you want to fight? Whoever. Who's the best? I want to fight them. So I've matched Kazim in fights, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. So like when we made Kazim and there's three fighters realistically who has been consistently like that. So you've got Liam. Every time I've spoke to Liam and Harry, they've been game to fight whoever. Dylan Chima, when I speak to him and Baggy, game to fight whoever. And Kazim and Neil, game to fight whoever. And now you've named them three. I've named them three names. But then look what they've achieved. All been a professional world champion. All top of the game. All not as nobody wants to lose, but they're not that
Yeah,
bothered. They would rather just get in there and prove I'm the best. And if I'm not the best, I've fucking tried. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%. That's the mentality we have to have.
exactly. And
some of the great battles over the years as well have been where fighters have fought each other, one's lost, and there's been a rematch, and then there's been like 2-3 fights. And I think that's how some of the sports need to go. That's why the UFC grows so fast, because the best will fight the best, lose, come back. No one's scared of it, and it's great. And that's why me and Gavi, we're trying to put this platform together so we can showcase these fighters that want to show people what they're made of, and that's going to just only make for great fights.
100%. Like myself and Howard, we want to be active. That's why, like, when we came on scene and we fought Chima, we wanted to fight again in a couple of months. That's why we had the fight lined up with Sam over in Scotland, and then that fell through, and we were like, right, let's say yes to having Qasim, and then obviously COVID kicked in. But hopefully now after July, more shows will be coming, and we just want to be as active as we can.
So let's fast forward to July. How do you beat Qasim? Nobody else has. How does Liam Alford beat Qasim?
The same way that Jalen Chima was unbeaten. I'm going to bring a pace that
I lost
like,
you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're still there, mate. You're still there.
Good answer.
Yeah. So,
did you catch that, Steve?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It come through as a bit of a delay, but we got it.
Yeah. So, everyone's human. Like all respect to him, he's a great fighter, but like I feel I'm better. I feel that like I just have what it takes. Like he's fought loads of great people. He hasn't fought me yet, has he?
Comments are coming in now. The comments are coming in now. You might have seen that one there. Well, maybe we're gonna have to. Maybe we'll have to get
so,
Qasim on here as well.
so
and see
your
what he
hand
thinks.
is raised. Let's say your hand is.
Sorry?
Your hand, go on. We've got you, Gav. We can hear you. Your hand is raised.
Yeah, obviously nearer the fight, Liam. We're going to get you and Qasim on here.
Cool.
Yeah, so your hand is raised. Say, let's fast forward. Let's say your hand is raised. What's next?
What's next? We just stay focused, stay training, take any fight that can come our way, and if there's any doubts, anyone says they're better, let's leave them, see if they can prove it.
Yeah, again, like you say, it's all. I know we're all getting very excited, but there is that obviously over that thing hanging over us all, as in, when we'll be allowed fully to sort of start doing stuff again. So it will be nice, I suppose, for you guys to be able to actually know that you can train with some purpose, have a plan, actually get back to some normal training camps and get things going again, because it has. I know you're saying you've got training and stuff going on now, but it has got to be very different compared to normal. Do you think it's going to have any effect at all on the way you prepare for the fight?
Well, like 100%, it's not normality. Like, nowhere in the world is normal nowadays. But like, it's all about just getting your body ready, getting your mind ready more than that, and just getting yourself tip top shape. Like, obviously, we're all at a high level. We know how to train ourselves. But like, obviously, you mightn't get the same sparring with COVID, but you can work around it. It's just about.
It's the same for everyone as well, isn't it?
Like, everyone's in the same position, but like, we're all going to get ourselves ready as we can.
And the good thing with that, like you've said, is it'll be good.
Sorry?
We can hear you, mate. We can
I
hear
think
you.
we're all breaking up, aren't we?
No, it's running perfectly fine. Yeah? We can hear you, Gav. I think it might just be your end. We can hear you though. Carry on.
You can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, obviously, Steve, you just mentioned then about training's got to be different. The good thing is everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's in the same.
It's a level field, like
position. So it isn't like anybody else has got. Yeah, no one's got a head start. Like I was trying to match. I was talking about a match to someone the other day, and they said, "Oh, we're not interested in that fight yet because we haven't trained or fought for 12 months." I said, No one has. Nobody else has trained or fought. Everyone's in the same boat. So
yeah,
like no one making up excuses. Like
exactly, it's not as though you've been injured and Qasim's been winning, or Qasim's been injured and you've been winning. We're all on the same boat. So, but obviously, moving forward to the show, I think I was speaking to Harry. We're going to be bringing some more Irish fighters over as well, and we're going to try and make it a team event. Obviously, you'd be captain of Team Ireland, Qasim would be captain of Team England, and we're going to try and make it an England versus Ireland tournament. So,
sounds good.
That should be interesting as well. We have done it before.
Works well, doesn't it?
Was it the show where you fought Dylan on that we did in England versus Ireland?
Yeah, there was a couple Irish fighters on that show.
Here we go. Two great champions wanting that number one slot. It don't get better than this.
And if I remember right, Ireland won that night.
Yeah. You're right there now, yeah. And it's going to be the same in July, Gav. Sorry to tell you.
It would seem that the people who are jumping on the stream now are actually, you can see people are already quite excited about it, because there's a lot of people jumping on, lots of comments starting to come through now. So guys, if you've got, before we finish the podcast in about 10 minutes time, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask Liam, just feel free to drop it in and we'll put the question up on the screen for him. So yeah, if you've got any questions at all, just drop them in, and obviously Liam will hopefully answer it. Depends what it's about.
That'd be good. Stand up.
So
you won't catch.
So what are you doing right now? As in, you're because the date, obviously, you're hoping is going to be July. You would normally want to peak, I suppose, around the time of the fight. Is it just a case of just maintaining for now until you just literally find that date? Because I'm just interested to just get into the head of like knowing when it's on. Then when does the training ramp up? You know what I mean? Like that's the bit I kind of find quite fascinating about all of this, because it's going to be like we don't know what's happening, and then it's just going to be like go, go, go all of a sudden. So I don't know. It's just lots of questions about how you prepare for these things, but it's interesting.
Yeah, so like every fighter's got their own kind of preparation for their camps. Like everyone's got, some people do a super long camp, some people do a shorter camp, because obviously everybody's body's different. But for myself, I just try to stay fit all the time, stay healthy, stay fit, and stay focused. And then it's only you'd want to up your sparring, and then you start trimming down the weight closer to the fight. But like there's no stage where you leave yourself go out of shape.
Yeah, I think actually that's the thing as well, making weight, isn't it? So like you say, you would normally have that training camp to know, when you got to get the weight off by. It's difficult. I feel. I see. I'm like 16 stone, so I would never have to worry about that.
I can hear you now, guys. I've had to move.
Oh, there you go. Was you getting a bit of a bad signal? Was you, Gav? I think you might have been a little bit. So we got someone here. Ollie's asking where the fight is going to be on. Do we have any ideas?
Hear a word any of you were saying. You both sounded like you was.
Yeah, we're gonna have to upgrade your broadband.
Steve.
We'll have to upgrade your broadband. We've got Ollie Alford asking where the fight's going to be on. Have you got any sort of news or updates on where it might be?
So we're confirming the venue this week. Obviously, the problem we've had with coming back after a lockdown is a lot of venues have closed. A lot of venues that we normally use aren't reopening. And some of the venues we use, we need to take into consideration that if we do still go ahead with crowds, but what if they bring back social distancing, or social distancing hasn't moved? So we can't go for a normal 300 venue and only have 4 people in there. So we're just looking at the options. But the good thing is the fight on, whether that'll be, it don't matter where it is, it's on, and we will get a venue sorted. We are speaking with 4 venues at the moment. So yeah, it'll be nice and it'll be good. But I don't know what you guys have spoke about, because I've missed quite a bit. You sounded like you were rapping.
Nothing really. We were just watching you move around the house.
We've coming over here. Obviously, you're not frightened to come over here, Liam. You've been over here before. You won your world title over here. So, when you come here, we spoke about the crowds and the big supporting island you've got. It will be like a home show for you again, surely.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
it won't feel like you're in England or anywhere in the world. Your supporters will follow you.
Yeah, that's the Irish, Gav. But to be honest, like, we don't, like, the big fights never really happen in Ireland anyway. So like all the big fights are always in your man's backyard or in a different country. So at this stage now we're used to it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in the crowd. It's only you and, in this case, Qasim or whoever you're fighting against in front of you in the ring. So it doesn't matter if there's 50 or 100 or however many people in the crowd outside. They're not going to affect the fight at all. They're not going to be punching me in the face.
Jamie Enright has
exactly.
Jamie Enright has asked, how are you going to cope with no takeaways?
I don't mind him. He's just jealous. He's my cousin. He's after putting on a couple of pounds.
I think we all have over lockdown, mate. You don't look like you have, but I think we all have.
Mate,
nah.
I'm surprised this chair's holding me.
So No. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Liam? Any message for? Okay, right. Let's put it out there. 2 messages. Give us your message to Qasim.
Qasim, just make sure you're ready, because like you seen in the Dylan fight, I'm gonna come in there hard and fast, powerful in round 1, and I'm gonna bring the same tempo, the same strength, same power in round 12. I don't slow down. Like, obviously, big
That's
respect.
what we
You've
want.
done a lot in the sport. Big respect. But like in the ring, we're both going for number 1. We both want to win. And like, so we'll definitely have a drink afterwards. But in there, it's all go.
That's the thing. That's the champion's mentality, and I'm sure when I speak to Qasim next week or in the next few days on here, he'll be saying exactly the same. So I've got a question. Forget about the fight. Forget about the opponent. Obviously,
Right.
you're fighting Qasim, but this is to be undisputed. Whoever wins this fight is going to be classed as undisputed. Now, I can't really think. Can you name in the last, or can anyone watching name former undisputed world champions where the world champion has fought the world champion to be claimed undisputed? I'm not talking about 20, 30 years ago. I'm talking about in our era, in the last 10 years. Liam, can you name, if you can name 1 or 2, or it's not very thought of, is it?
No, I can't. It's an amazing matchup. Like, and I want to say thanks to yourself for making the fight happen. Obviously, like, because both of us are in an amazing position now.
Yeah,
I just think I think that in years and years to come, years and years to come, people are going to look back on this era of kickboxing with you, Dylan, Qasim. Obviously, you've got Sam Allen, like you said. I don't know whether Bobby Campbell's making a comeback. But the guys who are still fighting now, I think people are going to talk about this. And I think if you do want to be number 1, you need to be fighting each other. And what you 3 fighters have done, and what you and Qasim are doing now, I think people are going to look back and talk about this. I think when people's kids start training, they will be talking about these kind of fights. And it makes me proud as a promoter to be putting them on. So as a fighter yourself, that's got to mean the world.
Like that right there, that's motivation in itself.
Exactly. Credit to you.
And I'm very excited that we've got this brand new sports network that's going to be covering all of the fights. There's going to be highlights on the internet forever for these kids to be able to go and watch these amazing fights when they happen. So that's going to be a big thing too. So anyone that won't be able to make the fight will still be able to see it. Anyone that wants to watch it in years to come is still going to be able to jump on it. It's going to be there forever. So
it's not so much about that. It's not so much about that.
Right.
Steve, what we're going to do, Liam, obviously I'm going to bring you into what we're going to do now with this fight. We're going to start it off with this. I'm going to be a pain in the arse. I'm going to be messaging you constantly. Can you do us a little training video? Could you do us a little training video? How's your day gone? Blah, 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 blah. Because I want to give content. You watch Sky Sports, you watch BT Sports, you watch the boxing, you get to know the fighters. I want everybody to know Liam Alford. When you go into that ring, I want people to know you. And I want to bring your backstory into the fight, not just seeing you. So we're going to bring you and Qasim in on here. We're going to do a face-to-face. If the travel restrictions are done, we're going to come to Ireland, or you're going to come here, and we're going to do a press conference behind the scenes of the show. Behind the scenes of the show. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you land in England, we're going to have a camera on you. We're going to be following you. We're going to know you, and that's got to be good for you. That's got to be good for kickboxing. Exactly, Caddy. Let's raise the profiles, else we're never going to get anywhere. And with you and Qasim, it's the perfect two fighters to raise your profiles and to raise the sport.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. Whatever happens, I'm really looking forward to it. Like I say, I've seen both of you fight as well, so that's great to actually, having seen you fight before. So it's going to just be a great event all round. It's going to be awesome, and I'm really interested now. Obviously, Qasim has been watching, as we know. He's been commenting in the section, so it'll be interesting to get his thoughts on this as well. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be tasty. I can feel it.
We won't leave.
Look at Liam's eyes. You can just see. He's like,
I can't wait, lads. I'm raring to go.
He wants to go now.
Liam, he's behind you. He's behind you.
he's in the back seat.
But no, we won't keep you for much longer, mate. But I just wanted to say, I know you're busy with the army. I know you're busy with your own life. Everybody is. So thank you for coming on. And you're the first person we've had on here. People, give us your feedback. People, give us your feedback. Has it been a good watch, or has it been a load of bollocks? Would you like to see? Would you like to see us on here in a few days' time with Qasim? That's what I want to know. Would you want to see more kickboxers jumping on here, and let's keep it going. Let's keep the ball rolling. But
on that note, Gav, it's worth mentioning to everybody, don't forget to subscribe, and with Facebook especially, make sure you hit the alert button as well. So every time we do have a new podcast or we do have a video come up, that you see it, because that will really help the channel, and also it's going to really help the fighters as well. So make sure you tune in, you subscribe to all the channels. This video will be up, if you've missed any of it, it will be up on the YouTube channel as well. And as of next interview, all the interviews will be streamed live on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. So whichever platform you prefer, you'll be able to go and get it there.
Cool.
Final thoughts.
Liam, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Gav. Thanks for having me.
Is there anything you want to say to your supporters before you go?
Oh, Jesus, I want to say a massive thanks to everybody. Because, as you said before, all the sport in Ireland is crazy, and obviously even more when I'm in Ireland. But thanks for everyone that's messaging me and watching this right now. And roll on July and we get the fight going.
Thank you very much, mate. I think that's all.
Catch you soon.
Thank you, everybody, for getting involved. Catch you soon.